What do you do when you just given birth? You just have this baby now. What's next? On this podcast, we discuss motherhood and stay at home momhood and just share the tips that can help us have better experiences as mothers, as stay-at-home moms. And today we're going to be talking about postpartum recovery. I have been thinking a lot about where to start having this conversation, and I had a couple of ideas of what would fit as the first ever episode. And then I thought, why not start right at the beginning with postpartum? Because I feel like this is the period where every mother is somewhat of a stay-at-home mom because they are forced to stay home and to go through that recovery process. And later on, some do choose to go back to work. But in this period, I think it is the period that every mom who has gone through, giving birth, they are at home with their child. And I thought, why not just start there? It's definitely like the best place to start having this conversation. So, what do you do when you just given birth? And for some new moms, it will be your very first time. You just have this baby now. What's next? I know in other places you get some sort of support, especially the days when you'll still be in hospital. But once you go back home with that baby, it's you and that baby. It's just you guys and your husband, your family, if there's family. But if there's no family, like in my case, then it will be just, you, your husband, and your baby. So, how do you navigate postpartum recovery when you're in that kind of situation, or even with people around? Because I know sometimes having people around doesn't necessarily mean that they're being helpful towards your recovery as a mother. It's different according to, cultures, but I do know in my culture, in Zimbabwe, that there's a lot of opinions that come with helping a new mom, especially because they kind of have this idea that you don't know what you're doing, and you might not know what you're doing. So I hope from this conversation that if you are still pregnant or you are planning for your first baby, that when you do give birth, you are not finding yourself in a situation where you don't know what you're doing. It's better to have some sort of idea and then, go ahead and get some sort of help with some things. But I think if if you've done the research and if you know certain things, then it's going to help you a lot with your confidence. And when that mom instinct kicks in, you are a lot more confident to, take care of this baby in the way that you see fit and in a way that is not going to have any negative effects on yourself and your recovery. So I'm going to focus on 4 areas that I feel like for me were really, really important, especially whilst I was doing it myself. So I feel like focusing on these 4 areas really helped with my recovery, and hopefully it helps somebody else. So that's why I think sharing this with you all is going to be a really good starting point, and I hope that is helpful. So the 4 areas is firstly taking care of your new baby, the important things that you need to learn and to know about. And the second thing is your emotional and spiritual recovery. And then we'll go ahead and talk about your physical recovery, as well as family adjustment. If you have maybe young children already and this is not your first time having a baby, then you need to figure out how to get your toddler or your young children adjusted to the new baby. So it seems like for institutions and hospitals and whatnot, they kind of focus on the 6 weeks, the first 6 weeks, as the traditional recovery period. And so, after 6 weeks, in many countries, that's when the baby will go for a wellness checkup, and the mom will also go for a wellness checkup. But then it seems like after that, it's just nothing. Like you go in when you go in, really, like, after that, it seems there's nothing much in terms of support of the mother postpartum. And we all know that it is during this period where a lot of mothers suffer postpartum depression or are just really struggling because they are trying to figure out this new life with a new baby. And if you had one before, now you have two. So now you're trying to figure out life with two, and all of that. Not that is the hospital's responsibility, but I think in terms of wellness, if there's more information, if maybe your doctor has discussed some things with you, it helps with some sort of awareness. But I will tell you from my experience giving birth 2 times that I really had to look for this information by myself, how to figure out the things that I need to be doing for my body to get back to normal. And I was not expecting to snap back. And like, if you're expecting that, you might want to shift your expectations, because giving birth just changes you. You are not the same person again. So don't expect to go back to that. Even if you are able to get the outward physical appearance of your body to where it was before, internally it's really not the same. You will really not feel the same. So it's good to give yourself that grace, and just don't expect that. But yeah, I'm going to get more into that when we are talking about physical recovery. So first, let's go into taking care of the new baby. Let me backtrack a little bit. For me, I was in a situation, like I mentioned before, that I stayed 3 days in the hospital. And the nurse there, we had a very good nurse, and she literally helped me with everything. I needed a lot of rest, and so I kind of let the nurse just, deal with the baths and all of that, and I just focused on bonding with the baby and having skin to skin and breastfeeding as much as I could. I had researched enough about it to know what to do, to know what to ask for. So this is what I think is very helpful when it comes to taking care of a new baby. Whether it's your first time or whether it's not your first time, it really goes a long way if you know how you want to do it, so that if the nurses are offering a bottle and you feel like no, you want to just breastfeed, and they are telling you all these reasons why, then you can stand your ground with confidence. Because sometimes we feel like the nurses obviously know what they're doing, but it's not always the case. It's not their specialty to know about babies in terms of feeding and breastfeeding. That would be a lactation consultant, and so we don't always have to take their word for it. Breastfeeding is not their specialty. Researching is important, so you get to know the different ways of doing things. Nowadays information is free. You can listen to a podcast like this and get some sort of idea of what you need to focus on. When it comes to taking care of a new baby, I would suggest to just consume as much information as you can about breastfeeding. If it is your goal to breastfeed, you cannot learn enough. And I cannot stress this enough because a lot of things can happen with breastfeeding. It depends how your baby is gonna be. Some babies have a tongue tie, some babies have a lip tie. You kind of need to know these things because the nurse is definitely not going to check this for you, in at least in a lot of different places. So it's kind of your responsibility. Nobody else can do this. And so if you know what challenges you are dealing with, you can know what to look for in terms of asking for help. Or I'm not saying that you will know what to do, how to solve your own problems, but even if you have to ask for help, you know what could be the problem. Like you are not clueless about what could be wrong with your baby. You need that confidence, really. And part of it comes from being secure in your knowledge of how babies are and what to expect with a brand new baby. Even if it's not your first baby, babies are all different. Babies are so are so different. I think when I was like trying to learn about what it's like having one and versus having two, I think a lot of the things that I was hearing is that babies are very different, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Of course, the knowledge of what I went through with my first is really helpful, and it helps give you that boost of confidence because you're not like starting from zero like a new mom. But you also still need to do some sort of research on how to breastfeed with a toddler on your side. That is definitely a new challenge if you are having a second baby or a third baby. Obviously, if you are a stay-at-home mom, or in this period of being a stay-at-home mom before you go back to work, then you need to focus on the things that you need to do to manage that. And let me know in the comments below if you want us to just do an episode of the things that helped me. But keeping your toddler happy is going to really help you because it will lower your own stress levels. Because if your toddler is happy, they're not whining when you're also trying to breastfeed, then it's helpful because whether you have people around or not, your toddler can get jealous of the new baby and just only want mama, and that will be a very stressful situation. Yeah, I think I'm already getting into the next point, which is getting your family or your younger children adjusted. When I discovered I was gonna have a second baby, this was my biggest worry, was how was I going to be able to care for my toddler, because at the time he was 18 months, so he would be 2 years old when the baby would come. So he would still need me. And so just throughout my pregnancy is one of the things that I really focused on, because I knew that it would be a big challenge, especially being a stay-at-home mom. My husband would probably get only 10 days leave from his job. I would be in a situation where I have a two-week-old baby and a 2-year-old by myself, and that I knew that would be difficult. So just thinking about that made me explore different options, and we actually ended up deciding that it was best for me to go and give birth in Zimbabwe, mainly for that reason, because then I would have my mom around and my sisters around, and it even if maybe they were occupied, it would be more affordable to get house help. Maybe it's God who just put this on my heart that it was something that I really needed to think about deeply and decide what to do. For my case, it really worked out well because I got a lot of support from family. But if you can't, if you are obviously maybe far away in a foreign country, you're far from family and friends, and then you might want to look into, getting some house help. And I know that in many foreign countries that might be very expensive. So then the next step would be, to start saving towards it, because it really is that important. If you foresee what is going to happen, then you are in a much better position to prepare for it. It really is different according to your situation, but that was like pretty much my situation, which and how I ended up dealing with it was going back to my home country, which is Zimbabwe. It came with its own challenges, I don't want to lie, but I think it gave my 2-year-old some time to also bond with family, with his grandma, and I think he adjusted better to having mom focused on the baby so much, because he was also having a good time, and you know how grandmas spoil their grandchildren. He was having a time of his life. It was a good experience. And also I think just having my mom there, it does something to you, giving birth in the presence of your mother, because now you get to really understand what she went through, and the struggles that she had to go through to have you, and you are kind of more appreciative of her pain. We all should be having these experiences with our mothers nearby or our aunts nearby, with supportive group of women nearby. And it's so unfortunate that we find ourselves in such situations where we are far from our family and friends. But if you do have that opportunity to have supportive people in your life, supportive women there with you, then maybe from your church, or from whoever you feel like is going to make this a full circle experience for you, then I do advise you to take that seriously, and just don't let your birth experience happen just with no plan. So I feel like I keep rambling off. So let me take you back to caring for your young child. So I recently learned from a talk about, one of the ways that you can actually introduce the new baby to your child, your youngest especially, that you already have. I was like, I really wish I had learned this before, because I did it in a different way, which was not bad. I think the other new way that I'm going to talk about now is even much better. First of all, how I did it was I got presents. It was just like a small toy truck. And so when my toddler came to the hospital to see the baby and to see me for the first time, I actually presented this toy and was like, this is a gift that the baby brought for you. They were happy and like warm to the baby. You run out of toys to give them, and to just like balance it out. So, but this new way that I recently learned was that it matters how this experience of seeing the baby for the first time, when let's say your toddler comes into the room. So you are hugging your toddler and you're just talking to them about, hi, I've missed you. And then you say, oh, we've got a new baby in our family. And so it's you and your toddler hand in hand. Then you're moving towards the baby together. And then you are taking the baby together, like you're bringing the baby in to be part of your family, and they are kind of with you on this. It's kind of different from if they come into the room, you have the baby in your hands, which is what I've seen a lot of parents do. I think this other way is more accommodating. If you just like having your baby in your hand, it's like, oh, this is your little brother. It's different from it's you and me, and we are inviting this new person in to be part of us. You are much less stressed dealing with too many tantrums unnecessarily, which come up because of the jealousy. And so if your toddler is happy, you're happy, and you're in a position to better take care of a newborn under less stressful conditions. So that's why I think this is a very important area to also think about when it comes to postpartum recovery. Like there's this ongoing thing that, I want to get back to my body, and maybe the expectation that you were just going to snap back, and it's really not the case. And it's not helpful that we see with social media that it's kind of a thing that some women get to brag about. But for you listening, I think it is not helpful at all to compare ourselves with people like that, because it is true what they say about comparison. It really is a thief of joy, and so you find yourself feeling horrible about yourself, and once you do that, your joy is gone. You cannot be happy waking up every day and going to sleep in the body that you have, in the body that God gave you, in the body that just produced this miracle that is this new baby. You are starting to have feelings of, not liking your body, or wanting to go through this period so fast so that you can be able to maybe start working out or going to the gym and all of that. But I don't think it's any helpful. The body that you have postpartum after giving birth, it is the scars of the beauty that you just produced. And to not appreciate that is to not appreciate the process, in my opinion. It doesn't mean that you don't have to, make plans to not go to the gym, but, appreciate, take a moment to, be happy with the way you are, and just focus on that. Focus on eating well. When you are able to, going outside is a lot helpful, but obviously taking it easy, and even easier if you've had a C-section, because your body has gone through a huge surgery, and that is not something you want to take lightly. So just resting is a lot that you have to do, which goes towards your physical recovery. So I think it's good to really take time to get your body healing, and to understand that it's going to take a lot of time to get back. You're not going to snap back in a couple of weeks. Of course, maybe the rich can do certain things to kind of get back to that. But what really is the point in all of that? If we are reverencing in the bodies that our Creator has given us. And He knows your body from the inside out. And trust me, even if you are still in the thick of postpartum recovery, it might feel like, you know, it's an unendingness of just like your huge bulge of the tummy. Afterwards, it's just gonna stay like that, but it's not. It will get back in time with the right, practices, with the right eating habits, with the right exercise, or later on with whatever you need to do. You can get there. So there's no need to start worrying and panicking about your body just after you've given birth. You might still even go through some of the feelings in terms of tiredness or cramps, some of the things that you are going through pregnancy. Don't expect that to switch off right after you give birth, because sometimes your body is obviously still adjusting. Your hormones are all over the place, so you might get cramps there. You might still feel I know some people still even have some cravings of some foods. I did. So it's unfair to yourself, I think, if you are in that postpartum recovery period, to just want to feel like yourself again immediately. It's unfair, it's unreal, it's unreasonable. So take that time, and it really helps as well if you're not doing too much physically. So what that may look like is, I think I mentioned this before, is getting help, especially with the physical things. So I know as a mom, you might want to, do things concerning your baby by yourself, bathing your baby, feeding your baby, or whatever these things that you have to do. And that's fine, because it's really not that much of hard work. But when it comes to deep cleaning your house and doing all these kinds of stuff, then get help if you can afford it. Get somebody coming to your house to just do the cleaning and leave if you don't want someone to live with you. Or, even if you have family, and hopefully they respect your wishes. If it's your wish that the help that they have to give you is with maybe preparing the meals and helping you clean up, and not necessarily bathing your baby, if it's not what you want, because I know those mama bear feelings. I had them, and I think, yeah, I really had those mama bear feelings where I didn't want anybody touching my baby. I was like, if you try to touch my baby, but I still needed help. So get help with the things that, you can't be doing everything yourself. That's when you're not supporting your own physical recovery, because then you are so tired from being tired all the time. Like, when will your body heal? You're obviously not getting enough sleep because you have to feed your baby all through the night. So when will your body rest if you don't get the help? So this is something you also have to think about, even when you're still pregnant, because if you don't have a plan on how you're going to get help, you're going to find yourself in a situation where people are coming to see the baby to your house, and they expect you to, have something ready for them to eat. I've seen some mothers get into situations like this, and of course it's unfair, and it's just horrible for people to have this expectation. But you see some mothers rise up and making a meal for 5 people. And not that you should not be hospitable, but because you just went through a lot, you just need to prioritize your recovery, because honestly nobody else is gonna come along and do that for you unless if you hire a postpartum nurse who's gonna be with you. I know the Chinese people do that, and they actually have these postpartum centers where mothers can go and just get taken care of. And I mean that's wonderful. It's expensive, but it's wonderful for recovery. So it just goes to show how other cultures take this postpartum period so seriously, and honestly you should too, because there's no reason to be making a feast when you've just had a baby. And so discussing that with your husband in terms of how you're gonna get the help that you need is very important to do that for, and to not just set an expectation, because some husbands prefer to be more hands-on and helping you do these things, like if you're in a situation where it's just you and him, and some husbands prefer to pay somebody to come and help you, which is both help. So the goal is to get help. If you can get it in any form, kind of way that is supportive to your experience, then I think that's great. During your pregnancy period, make plans. Do not fall into the trap of now you're having to do all of this because maybe you didn't plan or have a budget to have somebody come help you, or you didn't figure out how you are going to get maybe a family member to come and be with you during this period so that you can get the help that you need, or you are just now starting to look for a maid, and you know you have a new baby in the home and you're trying to figure out and find a good person to you around the house during this period. I think it's not the time for all of that. I think during your pregnancy, or even before then, you should have this already figured out. You have 9 months to prepare, and I think the preparation that you do during pregnancy is going to be helpful a lot towards your own recovery. So don't only focus on the cute stuff, like getting the cute outfits for your kids, getting the room ready, but focus on the more important things, the things that are going to support you in your postpartum recovery journey. The last section is emotional recovery. I think it is the section that is overlooked the most, especially in my culture. I think it's really overlooked in terms of just you don't really hear people talking about it. And I think even when people give you advice, like older mothers, they rarely talk about emotional recovery from birth. And I think it's very crucial, because your emotions are all over the place. Not to even mention the way your hormones are imbalanced. Like I said before, your body just went through huge change. You just pushed out a human baby. Your emotions are going to be all over the place. But also this is a crucial part in your baby's development, because how you feel is naturally going to transfer to them. I don't remember the research that I was reading, but it was basically saying that happier mothers have happier babies, not because of like anything that they do, but just from the babies watching their mothers being happy. Your happiness and your emotional stability is very, very important. And for us Christian mothers, we cannot separate our emotional wellness with our spiritual wellness. It just goes hand in hand. Our joy comes from the Lord, and our joy comes from knowing that we can cast all our worries on Him, and it's all pretty much figured out. So I think prayer is just the best solutions that as a Christian mother you can do to help support yourself emotionally. I know a lot of people talk about self-care. Prayer is self-care, and it's very important. And so I really encourage you to not overlook it postpartum. It is easy to do that because you are tired and you are having to think about a lot of the things. But if you just keep anchoring yourself in prayer, then you find that you are not doing a lot of the worrying, because you've given it to God and you don't have to worry. So of course, the less stressed you are, the less likely you're gonna have the negative emotions that come with just worrying about, is the baby feeding well, is the baby sleeping well, doing my best, am I doing the right thing? Everything comes to full circle if you just put it to the Lord. So what that might look like, and honestly, I think that it's not easy to just snap back into the same level of, prayerfulness that you had maybe during pregnancy or before. It is easy in that moment to just slip away. So during pregnancy, I think it is wise to have people that are encouraging to you prayer-wise, people that you know that when they call you, you're going to pray, or they're gonna give you an encouraging word. It's one thing to have people around helping you with chores and food, and it's another thing to have people helping you stay anchored in God. So I think that is very, very important. So if you already have this ongoing, maybe it's a group of ladies or friends that you pray with, that you trust in, that you go to the same church and you have the same faith, you start this during your pregnancy or before, and then postpartum, it feels like an ongoing thing. So it feels normal. It brings back normalcy in your routine. And then there's also like staying in touch with your family and friends. It is so easy to just be focused on your cute little baby, especially if you're far away from other people. You will just you won't even know where the time is gone, because it's always one thing after the next. But it's good to be intentional, and take time to actually respond to some of those messages that people are sending you, or make a call to a best friend or your mom or whoever you think that whenever you talk to them is going to light up your day, because like we said, happy mom, happy baby. And I think also the part about not letting too many people come to visit too early is also helpful to you emotionally, because you have less opinions to deal with when you have a baby, especially for the first time. Everybody, and I mean everybody, has a story to tell you. Maybe it's their own experience, or it's an experience of someone they knew or someone close, and not all of it is positive. Okay, some people will just say whatever comes to mind. So it's hard once someone is already in your space to kind of control what they say. Some of these things you don't really need to hear. It also goes a long way to just let a few very close people only come to visit, and then the rest can always come whenever you're ready, when you've kind of cemented yourself in this role of being a mother, your confidence, your mom instinct, everything is set. And then you can always have people come see the baby. So in a way, you are kind of caring for your own mind, the things that you are taking in, and that will extend also to social media. There's a lot going on social media, and once you go down the rabbit hole of just searching other people's postpartum experiences, you might find that it might not be so encouraging. It's easy to compare, and in both my postpartum experiences, I was not on social media, and I think it gave me a sense of confidence in just who I am and what my experience was, and I was not comparing it to anybody else's, because there was nobody to compare it to. How you deal with postpartum recovery is more just about how you prepare for it, how you prepare for all these different parts that I've mentioned, because if you don't, it's just going to hit you like a rock. You don't have help, your toddler is acting wild, your body is just tired from all the things that you are now having to do on top of taking care of your baby, that's not how you want your postpartum recovery period to go. Because if it goes that way, then it's gonna take longer for you to feel like yourself again. Praying about it, talking to other moms, being aware, being prepared is very, very important. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. A lot of the information I shared is anchored in my own experiences. So take what can help you and just leave what doesn't. And I hope to see you in the next episode.